Hey guys, Jeff here, Aromatics, and Christina, Hello Kitty Piper. We're just sitting out here doing some reviews and hanging out, and I thought it'd be a good time to do a little VR to Steph, Pipe Artist Steph, and this is going to be just part. I'm going to do some multiple videos to answer her VR because it might take a little while longer, and I don't like my videos to be too long. That way, nobody has to sit through 15 minutes of talking. So I thought I would answer her one question, and that was how our lives have changed in the last year or so. And that is an excellent question, and there's lots to say on that, hence this just one video for this one question. And okay, so how should I say this? I'm gonna subtitle this video, Life is not short. You know how everybody says that, oh, life goes by so fast and it's short. I have found that that's not really the case for me. It doesn't seem like it's been going by that fast, and I'll explain that. I'm 44, and I was married fairly early and had my first kid when I was really young, around 20 years old. And so in my past, I look back and it's like a dream. It's like there was a time when I had 3 kids, my own house and a boat and 2 cars, and we had kids that we took to karate and went to school and went to church on Sundays. Getting up on Sundays, getting dressed, and all going out. And I remember teaching Sunday school and being in church for years and years and making friends and having Bible studies. And yeah, and just having a good marriage, and everything was the typical life. Working at a factory and working 6 days a week, and working overtime on a midnight shift and other shift work, and maybe about I think probably 5 years ago, 4.5 years ago, I got separated from my wife, and told myself that if the first one didn't work out, I always told myself that if the first one didn't work out, I would just be single the rest of my life, and because I'm a commitment guy, I always believed one person forever. So those years, I really tried to make it work with my wife, and I put a lot of effort into it, and had a lot of learned a lot, went through a lot of stuff happened in the last 4 years, just studying how relationships work and where things go wrong and where things go right, and great times too. I've met a lot of people and gone through some hard times that taught me some stuff, and some good times. I learned how to take care of myself and to be happy with very little. Like when I got separated, I basically told my wife she could have everything. I just want to live as light as possible, just the bare minimum. And so yeah, so little that actually when I moved from my last place to this place, I moved all by myself with one trip in a little cube van. Yeah, just I did have a couple things to go back and get, maybe a chair or two, but pretty much moved everything myself in one trip. So very little. So yeah, and it's hard to believe that I still feel like, even after all that, it just seems like a dream, because I still feel today, I feel like I'm in the best shape of my life. I feel like I have a whole life ahead of me, yet I've already seemed to have lived a whole separate life. So yeah, in the this last year, I think I finally came to the conclusion that some people just don't change. Like, people are who they are, and I know you see a lot of things on social media where people are always trying to say if you love somebody you'll change, and I've come to the conclusion that that's why I think a lot of relationships have failed. Sure. Because I think theoretically, if you love somebody and you pick the right person, you should actually be afraid of them changing on you into something different, instead of changing into something you want. You should find someone that you love that is who you Like you're in love with that person fully, flaws and all, and you don't want them to change. Improve, of course, on you know, our faults, this and that, to a degree, but not change into a totally different person. And I finally came to the conclusion that my ex and me, we're just who we are, and we're just, you know, sadly. So yeah, so basically, here I am now, and starting a whole. It's like I'm starting a whole new chapter in my life, and who knows where it's gonna go. It is what it is. So.
I feel like you shouldn't go into a relationship wanting to change the person. Like, that's not, like, that's messed up in my opinion. You should not.
And you're going to be
want
disappointed
change
because,
the person.
yeah, you can't guarantee, like, that's where, of course, like, so what happens if you make a commitment to that person and then they don't change into what you expect them to be?
Most people aren't going to change. Like, people are who they are, and you should accept that. If you can't accept that, then you shouldn't be with that person.
Agreed. But if you guys have I'm interested. I know a lot of people do believe in this whole, like, if he loves me, he'll change for me, or if she loves me, she'll change for me. Well, if you could explain that a little better, maybe put that in the box below, because that just doesn't make sense to me. When I got married, I loved the person that I married. I didn't want them to be somebody else. Of course, I wanted us to grow and improve and have plans, but I wasn't looking at them to become something else. But anyway, so that's how my life has changed. Let me see specifics that has changed. I've learned one of the biggest things is I've learned to be happy with little or a lot. If things just are, if I have to crack down and because there was a time when I had basically nothing. I had to live on paycheck to paycheck, and just I didn't know how I was going to make it. It was scary. But I learned that you can really crack down and save money and now I've learned to live. I don't buy stuff until I have the money. Like, I'm debt free, and it just feels so freeing to be able to pay for stuff and not have to worry about being in debt. So there's that, and just another thing I learned is to be happy I'm alone or with somebody. I totally learned to be self-sufficient and to enjoy my alone time, and to learn how to make friends and to just enjoy people's company without having to, you know, have that feeling like, oh, I need to be in a relationship. Although that's great when it happens. But so yeah, that's my that's answering the one question for you there, Steph, on how my life has changed in the last year and a little bit more than that. So, all right, I'll leave it at that, and I look forward to answering some more of your questions on some later videos. So, me, Aromatix, Jeff, and Hello Kitty Piper, Christina, saying goodbye, and we'll talk to you guys later. Have a good one.